Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Here we are again, Thursday afternoon. I see a lot of the names that are attending. You were actually at our live meeting and breakfast training this morning in Boca Raton, South Florida. So thanks for joining this morning and then back again at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The goal is that you walk away from a ton of nuggets, right, that you can use in your practice this afternoon. So please take down notes, notes app, whatever it is. Just try to remember as much information as possible because you're going to learn about a portfolio, some great riders, living benefits, some of these things you've never seen before. Okay. In fact, some of these things I haven't seen before. So lots of great stuff for everyone in every part of the industry. So please pay attention. And then what we're going to do is send out a thank you email. So if you were at our breakfast training this morning, you're going to get a separate thank you email from that breakfast training. And then you'll get another thank you email and it'll say webinar, today's webinar thank you email. So keep your eyes peeled for both. And then you will have all the brochures, contracting, marketing material, everything that is needed to get started and start making some new sales. If you don't receive those emails, just let us know. That means we have your incorrect email address. So we need to get that straightened out or it's sitting in your junk folder. Okay, so fast forward, what are we talking about today? Okay, and today it's a unique story. And I'll just give you the 100-foot overview, and then I don't want to take any of Rob's thunder because he's got a lot of great information to share. But we meet every single Tuesday morning, our marketing team. We now have 11 people in 3 states, and then we're adding a 12th person from another state. So we're going to have the West Coast covered as well. But anyway, the point is we meet every Tuesday morning on Positive Tuesday, and we talk about the events of the week, our podcast, our expo, everything that's coming up to help our agents. And the point is we try to fill the gaps and say, okay, what carrier offers this? What's the best carrier for that type of product? Or does this carrier have a solution for this obstacle or hurdle or challenge, whatever it is? And then this way, the agent, right, from your perspective, you have a full toolbox of everything you need to go out and be dangerous. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about, fixed indexed annuities or MIGA or IUL or return of premium term or critical illness, whatever. Every single thing across the board you're going to have covered. And here's the best part. It's not just having it covered and saying, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client, I have a solution, I have a product that will do exactly that, but you're giving Mr. Client and Mrs. Client a product that is the best in that part of the industry or that field or niche. So that's the goal. That's why we meet every week because I don't know everything, and Andrew doesn't know everything, and Josh doesn't know everything, and neither does Rob. But as a team together, right, we feel like we know not everything, but maybe 99% of everything. So, and that's why we bring these presentations to you. And when there's a need, when you have a comment, feedback, okay, good, bad, and different, when we hear from you, right, because you're going to type in that little chat box or send us an email after, we create these presentations around those meetings and your feedback. So we need to hear from all of our agents, okay, good or bad, very important. So please fire away as we go. And Andrew's going to answer all of you in real time. Okay, so fast forward today's presentation. I don't mean to rant. We're talking about a carrier that's been around way over 100 years. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of Levinson and Associates, right? We were founded in 1972 by Kerry, right? Over 50 years. And Kansas City Life, way over 100 years, and still partially owned by the same Bigsby family. Okay, this day and age, you don't find that, right? In fact, some companies, right, are public. Some are owned by a private company overseas, and a lot of times, and this is kind of unfortunate, but you may not even know who the parent company is of the insurance company you're selling. So this company I love because it's that old school feel, the customer service, And this to me is number one. If I have my agent hat on, you can call in to the home office in Kansas City and speak to your underwriter that's actually working on your case. Okay. If you need to get Rob, our VP, involved, right? Once you're in and you're writing, you've proven yourself. Okay. You have direct access to the whole team. So that's advanced case design. That's on the marketing side. That's underwriting. If you need support with seminar sales, and they'll help you with the invites. They'll even fly someone down to help you host the presentation. I mean, that's the way it was 20, 30 years ago. And I'm sure even further, but I haven't been around that long. Okay. But I can tell you companies aren't like this anymore. So that's a big plus. And then on top of it, some of the products, now they have non-med to $1 million with an e-app. Some of the products are awesome. I'll give you an example. My uncle has an ROP term product from Kansas City Life with this triple play feature. Why did I sell this to my uncle? Because no one else has anything like it. Okay, there's a reason. So you're going to hear about all of the great stuff that Kansas City Life brings to the table. All right, let's keep moving forward. By the way, we're going to have our giveaway at the end. And I know this is our second one of the day, but right before 3 p.m. Eastern, make sure you answer the question first. Okay, first and correctly, and then we'll announce your name, and then you are the winner of the day. Okay, and don't forget, your homework from last week was to review that contracting playbook. Okay, so anyway, make sure you're on until the end, and then we'll announce the question and then the giveaway. Okay, let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about our big powwow for the year and our breakfast training this morning. So real fast, I'll switch gears. This was from literally a couple hours ago in South Florida. We focused on IUL on our workshop. We gave away CE credit, had about 60 agents there. And again, I see a lot of your names. I know you were there this morning, so thank you, because you probably drove home, had lunch, and then jumped on this webinar. But anyway, make sure we have another one in November. Make sure you register for these things, especially if you're in Florida. Okay, if you're out of state, we have these also virtual through webinars. But if you're local, try to register for these. It's a great way to network, learn, and then bring home new ideas and strategies to move the needle. Okay, let's keep moving to the big powwow of the year. And I don't care where you are in the country. We even have agents coming in from Hawaii for our expo every year. But this one is going to be a lot different. I'll tell you why. So for the first time ever, we're launching our health department, health division in October, so this month. But officially at the expo, we're bringing in, in fact, two different departments. So we have the entire insurance field covered. Okay, so this is going to be a new story, new speakers. You're going to hear from new agents. It's going to be a day you don't want to miss. It's free for everyone. Okay, as long as you're an active Levinson agent, complimentary breakfast, network, lunch, right on the beach, in the sand, in Deerfield. And I'm telling you, we're capped at 300. You got to register this year and don't let it go, because we're going to be filled up. And I don't want to have to say, by fire code, we're capped at 300. I can't get you in, unfortunately. It doesn't matter how much production you write. So please make sure. Plus, on top of that, so check this out, bottom right corner, starting at just $40,000 a premium. That's combined life and annuity and all the supplemental products. We give you a 2-bedroom beachfront suite on us, paid for. Okay. Then we go up to round trip airfare and 2 complimentary nights on us and the beachfront suite. And then keep this in mind for a second. I'll give you a little hint in the teaser. Okay. You can't, no sandbagging, by the way. In December, we're doing double points December. Okay. So everything counts. All premium apps count for double to make sure that you qualify. If you're local and you get round trip airfare, you qualified, we'll give you a equivalent credit with an Amex gift card. Okay. So make sure your foot is on the gas. All applications count, but you got to let us know. Let's keep moving forward. 4/17/26 is the day. Make sure you jot that down, save the date. Okay. I'm going to move quick here, and then I have literally 3 slides, and then my friend Rob Petzel will take the wheel. Testimonials, right, for so many years. And we feel very strongly about this. We do not sell in a retail call center. We don't step on our agents' toes. We don't, there's one bucket of prospects in this country, okay? And you, the agent, should not be competing against the IMO and everyone's fishing in the same bucket. It should be illegal, in my opinion. Maybe it will be soon, but it should be illegal. We should be there to help our agents as a distributor. You should be there selling product to consumers, right? And prospects. That's it, right? And then if you're recruiting other agents, great. We support you and your agents if you would like us to. Totally up to you. Point is, we care about our customer, which is you, our agent. So when Frank, Carl, JR write testimonials, reviews, comments like this on our Facebook page, okay, we share in the office. We share with the entire team. It moves the needle internally. And then we have bonuses and luncheons around your feedback. So please, I'm just going to read one real fast because I love what happened on the left side. So Frank steps in on the Levinson Facebook page, says, Levinson team is a family. They're knowledgeable, helpful, full of encouragement, the best IMO to which an agent could hitch their wagon. And then on the same post, Carl, right, he jumps in as an agent that has been around for almost 40 years. I know the real thing when it comes around. These people have it together and are definitely the real thing. Just give them a try and you will agree. That's priceless. Okay. And obviously it's not fake. You can't pay for advertising, marketing like this. That's as real as it gets. Okay. And again, we're not perfect, but 99% of the time, we're going to jump in and make it right for you. And if there's a 1% chance that maybe a case didn't go your way, whatever, at least we'll go to bat and do the best we can to try to get an approval or an increased offer. Okay. Now, it may not always come out as you want, but we're going to go to bat and try. Okay. That's our promise. Anyway, jump in on the Facebook page or Google reviews page. And when you share, we send you a IUL prospecting book. Let's keep moving. I got 2 more slides and then we are done. Real fast, the life and annuity newsletter. So we just sent this one out, but you will have this newsletter in your inbox every other week. And the reason why I bring this up, and I feel that this is a great tool for all agents, think about we have our core carriers, okay, that we write the most business with. We have the best relationships with. KCL is one of them, okay, but we have over 90 carriers. And when we add these 2 new departments, it's going to be literally 120, 130 carriers, okay, on all sides of the insurance industry. But the point is, how are you, right, in your 3rd bedroom, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, how are you going to know what's hot, what's not, what's new, what's outdated with all these companies and brochures and products? You're not going to know unless you go to every single website. So we take all of that information, put it into one email, one image. Then you literally just point, click, and everything you need to know is on your screen in front of you. So make sure you pay attention. If you don't get this, let us know. It's sitting in your spam folder, or again, we have your incorrect email. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, this is one of my favorite slides ever. I'm going to tell you why. It gives you an opportunity as the agent to say to the consumers, prospects, and the social media world, which I hope you're active on, hey, with me, I offer free insurance. How do you have free insurance, right? The ultimate living benefit. Okay, so what I can do as your agent, as the guru in Cedar Rapids or Key West, Florida, wherever you are, or all over the country for that matter, okay, you are offering guaranteed return of premium products. What does it mean? At the end of the term period, all money comes back. Guaranteed, not based on current rates, guaranteed. Okay? Look at the options that we have. Now, 10 years ago, this page would have taken up 4 screens in front of you. Okay? But today, what you're going to notice, top left corner, number 1, term with ROP, KCL. Okay? Remember I talked to you about my uncle's policy? There's a reason why. And Rob's going to explain a little more about that. To the right, Assurity, Illinois Mutual, AMM, all the way over to the right, all have good products, but none have the triple play option. Let's move to the bottom, GUL, IUL, also with ROP, right? Who wouldn't want this? You have protection when you need it most, and then after 20, 30 years, right, you hit a button, you cash out, you just got all your money back, free insurance for the 20 or 30-year period. Who's not going to want to do this? If they can afford it, who wouldn't want to do this? It's a no-brainer, okay? Those are the top companies on the bottom when it comes to permanent ROP options. And then let's move over to the top right. Assurity on Insure Me Now Direct also has term life, okay? Not with the triple play, but they do have return of premium on term. And the same thing on critical illness, disability income, and even a guaranteed issue accident plan that everybody gets. And then there's the ROP feature. Okay, who is going to say no when you market this to the world? Okay, that's how you got to look at this. Okay, and there's a reason why, right? These carriers are still there with ROP. A lot of them went away, but there's a reason why these companies are still there and they're holding strong. Okay, let's move to our final presentation slide. I'll introduce my friend Rob Petzel. He's also our RVP at Kansas City Life. Rob, are you there?
I'm here, Bill. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Always.
Well, everybody, thanks for taking the time today. It sounds like you've been through a couple of different trainings today. I miss coming down and seeing you guys down there in Boca Raton. But being online with you here today, I appreciate you all taking the time. I have a lot of information I want to get through for you. I got a couple little nuggets that you guys are going to be receiving exclusively toward the end here, stuff that we haven't even made public yet, but I'm going to be able to introduce to you all and let you know when it's all coming our way. But let's jump in a little bit. Bill did a great job introducing Kansas City Life and why you would want to do business with us. Our longevity has been around forever. We are one of the only companies, if the only insurance company that I know of, that has zero debt. Our company does not owe anybody anything. We are a cash run business by the Bixby family, who's been running this company since the early 1900s. They're in their 4th generation of leadership, with the 5th generation of leadership making its way up. So a very strong financial company for you. To get into the product portfolio here a bit, advance my slides here. We've got a brochure that's available on our website, and I know you've got a link on your Levinson website to access this, but we got a brochure that'll help you match the right product to the need. As Bill mentioned, there's all kinds of brochures out there. There's products getting updated. Who has the most up-to-date product? Who has the hottest product? So much information for you all to know. So we created this brochure, one brochure that can help you match the right product to the need. You can find it in our portal, which has a link on the Levinson website. You go under Sales Tools to Product Portfolio, and it's right here, matching the right product to the need. I'm going to touch on all of the products that we've got really, really quickly. I'm going to have you drinking from a fire hose, so I apologize for going so fast. But you've got access to Bill, Andrew, and the entire marketing team over there at Levinson, who will do a phenomenal job telling you where Kansas City Life is going to fit in your business. Again, these are each of the products have a different sales guide to give you all the nuts and bolts on it, and I'm going to touch on each one of them. With our term product, we've actually got 4 now term series. We've got our signature term, our choice advantage, and our longevity term. Our signature term and our choice advantage are our 2 typical products, and we just rolled out our longevity term. Our Essential Guard. Our Essential Guard term is our low-cost product. We're going to be in the top 5 in terms of premium for your clients for a 10, 15, and 20-year product. If you're going to go to our 30-year product, you'll want to hit Choice Advantage. That's going to be the one that's going to hunt for you. But as you can see on the signature term, the minimum issue limits is $100,000. On the Choice Advantage, it's $250,000. Our new Essential Guard product, it is also $250,000 minimum face amount. With the longevity term product, this product isn't a durational product. It's not a 10, 15, or 20-year product. It's a term product to either age 80 or 85. It's one of the only products, if the only product that I know of, that can actually be on the books for 67 years. You can write this product on an 18-year-old, and if you write the longevity term 85, that product is going to be on the books for 67 years. There's no other term product that I know that has that duration. Minimum face amount you see there is $100,000 for 18 to 49. This is a unique opportunity for you that are writing term insurance on individuals over 50. You can write this product down to 50,000 in face amount. Not many companies can go that low on their term product series. All of these products, including all of the other Kansas City Life products, they all have access to our express underwriting program. Right now, our limits are at $1 million. We're working with our actuary department to push that up to $5 million. We're hoping that we're going to be able to make that announcement come January, but I can't make any promises on that one. But we're looking at expanding our express underwriting program, non-medical. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully there aren't any questions. If you have any, I'm going to skip over those slides in this presentation. Obviously, direct all of those to Andrew, Bill, and their team. They'll get them answered for you. Bill did a great job talking to you guys about our cashback product. The cashback product is the, without a doubt, most competitive return of premium product on the marketplace. It has cash accumulation like a whole life. It has conversion privileges like a term, and it gives the client the ability to make choices around what to do with that return of premium at the end of the term. They can get all of their money back tax-free. They can choose a reduced paid up product with no additional premium, or they can extend the face amount of their term for a certain number of years and days. They can also do any combination of all of that. So you've got a very, very robust product. I actually also like this product as an alternative to a final expense. One caveat there is the maximum issue age is 60 years old. So you got to catch clients at 60 rather than 65 when you're probably starting to talk about them with a final expense. But this thing could, if you design it properly, be the least expensive final expense product you see. As I mentioned, I think it's the most competitive on the street. If you run our rates against everybody else's, we're going to be right there within a couple of dollars of each. And with all of the other non-forfeiture benefits you have, nothing's going to beat it. Here's some of the conversion privileges that you've got. The products can be converted, like I said, just like a term product. Even though it is a return of premium term, it is convertible like a term as well. Bill mentioned the triple play option. It's a triple option wizard where you can create one illustration for a client and you can show them a good, better, and best strategy, just like this. The first scenario shows you a $200,000 term for a client 45 years old. The second scenario shows you a 50-50 split, a 20-year term and a 20-year cash back. And the third option shows you the all return of premium. So when I present this to a client, I say, Mr. Client, we've got option number one. I can get you that product. It's going to cost you $42 a month. However, at the end of that 20-year term, your penalty for living is $10,108.80. That's obviously because they're not getting any of their money back on the term product. Then I jump over to the third scenario and I say, now, Mr. Client, for about what is that math? That's about 90-something more a month. I can give you the same $200,000 worth of coverage. However, when you turn, in this example, 65 years old, Kansas City Life's going to cut you a check for $32,600. That's the return of premium. Now, that's just like this client investing this money. If you look at that third box, the rate of return at a 5% rate of return guaranteed. If they invested the difference between the term premium and this return of premium somewhere, they would have to get 5% guaranteed. In our interest rate environment right now, there are many places that we can get 5% guaranteed and have access to the cash. Because remember, you have access to the cash in this product. So it's a great sales tool for your, or a great product for your client. This is a great sales tool. This triple play wizard for you will help you sell more return of premium business than any other tool I've seen. Now, one of the things I wanted to bring up is Kansas City Life is unique, and we have what's called our income assured option rider. This is a free rider that's available on every Kansas City Life product. You could put it on the product at any point in time during the life of the contract. You can put it on when you apply. You could put it on 10 years in. There's no cost associated with it. But what it does is it allows the client to control the death benefit. In this example, we've got $1 million policy. On the left-hand side there, without the income assured option, you'd see when the client dies, the beneficiaries get $1 million. Now, we all know that if someone was handed $1 million, they probably burn through that money pretty quickly. What you can do is you can add the income assured option rider and have the death benefit when the insured dies pay out $300,000. It will then pay the beneficiaries $47,051 a year for 20 years. That's a total payout to the beneficiaries of $1,241,000. You just increased the client's death benefit by 24%, and it didn't cost them a dime. Now, here's the kicker. When this client dies, Kansas City Life cuts 2 checks. The first check for $300,000 goes to the beneficiaries. The second check goes back to Kansas City Life to purchase the single premium immediate annuity for 20 years. We then cut a third check, which is commissioned to you as the agent for, in this example, selling a $700,000 single premium immediate annuity. No paperwork, no compliance, nothing. It just happens, assuming that this benefit is elected on the product. And again, this is available on every Kansas City Life product. For whole life, we've got 3 different products. We've got our value assured, really inexpensive, non-participating whole life product, great at low face amounts, also really, really solid product as an alternative to some of your GULs out there. With GULs kind of going the wayside slowly but surely. Bill showed a slide earlier about how many carriers there are in that marketplace. Would have been 20 or 30 of them 5, 10, 15 years ago. Now they've kind of gone by the wayside because of the expense to the insurance company. Our value assured product will hunt with a lot of those GUL products. We've got a value certain 20. That's just a 20 pay whole life, same exact product as the value assured. And then we've got our gift of life, our juvenile policy that can protect children as young as 15 days old. It's got a built-in increase of death benefit at age 25 when the insured turns that age. So great whole life product portfolio here for you. We're going to get into our universal life products now. We've got 3 of them. We've got a traditional UL product, great cash accumulation product for clients who are concerned about the fluctuations in indexes in an IUL. This product is also issuable on individuals up to 85 years old. So this is our product that you would write for the most senior clients. Minimum face amounts go down to $25,000. So again, if you're running an illustration and you see that guaranteed side that lapses, you can kind of compare that to if you tried to sell an older individual a term product, and then likely the non-guaranteed side is going to go longer than your term product might have. So a great product for that senior marketplace. Bill mentioned riders. We've got riders galore on all of our products. Here's kind of an example of a chart on which riders apply to which products. Obviously, you see our UL product, which are the 3 there in the middle. Almost all of our riders apply to those types of permanent products. Here's our IUL. Very, very simple IUL designs. We keep it that way so that your clients understand what they're getting, right? We've got a simplified design. We use 1 crediting method, annual point to point. 1 index account option, S&P 500. And then you've got 4 different index participation rates. And I'm going to jump into these here in a minute and give you all the details of them. Why do we use the S&P 500? It's been around forever. Very, very stable and really, really strong market capitalization. It provides that strength. We all know what the S&P 500 has been doing for our clients over the past several years, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. Again, on the IULs, we've got a whole host of different riders. Here's why I want to give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview. Effective the end of January, we will have a critical illness rider that will be available on our IUL products. The critical illness rider is going to look just like a lot of the other critical illness riders out there, like Nationwide's and some of the other organizations. It's going to work exactly like those. I don't have product details yet because it hasn't been approved in all states, but I'll be able to roll that out to you here in the next couple of weeks. That being said, any product that you have sold in 2025, any index universal life product that you have sold in 2025, you will be able to add that rider once it becomes available in the state that your client resides in. You guys are the first group of people to hear that. It is not public information until right now. The product will roll out officially in January with product specs coming out probably mid-November, but we will be able to add it per our actuarial department to any product that has been issued in calendar year 2025. So if you're on the fence with writing a Kansas City Life IUL, there's one more piece of sizzle for you to position to your clients. Unfortunately, I don't have details on the rider, but like I said, it will mirror a lot of the other critical illness riders that are out there. Here's comparing our two IUL products. We've got two of them. Equiflex is low-cost, competitive product. It's going to be great product for cash accumulation for your clients. Our Compass Elite product has got a higher target premium. Those target premiums are going to be in line with all of the other competition out there. So you're going to see cash accumulation also be very, very similar to the competition. We'll get into the index account options. We've got three of them, or four of them, I'm sorry. Our index account A currently has a 9% cap with a 100% participation rate. Index account B is a 50% participation with no cap. The high cap account goes up to 12%. If you notice highlighted in yellow there, it does cost the client 1% to participate in that. So the net return is 11% for your client there. And then index account E, which is our high cap, that's an 11.5% cap with a 50% participation. So if you do the math, and I'm going to not have to do the math in my head. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. If you take a peek, we've created this chart, which will allow you to see which of these index account options make sense. Notice which one is blue being the best. The most expensive rider, remember it's 3% to be in this index account option, option E, is the best return for your client. If you think about it, we're returning 14.25%, anywhere between a 12% return to the S&P 500 up to 28. That's actually a gross return of 17.25%. That's the return that your client is being credited in your IUL. Then we take the 3% rate out, and that's how you get the net returns that you see on this grid. Not sure that there's many other carriers that have a 14.25% net return in their IUL products. So that's one of the places that Kansas City Life's IULs are going to stand out. Guys, with all of that being said, I know I fed you from a fire hose on all of the different products that we've got. Bill, Andrew, if you guys have any questions, if there's anything that I missed that you want me to touch on, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thank you, Rob. Great job. Yeah, I want to ask you a question about the top products. You know, what are you seeing, you know, sold from the field? You know, where's most of the attention when it comes to KCL products? But first, I want to see if Andrew has any questions that came in that we couldn't answer. Andrew, do we have anything?
Yes, we have a question from Michael. He's asking, what are some, if any, of Kansas City Life's underwriting niches, as far as like medical impairments or things that you've seen that maybe you're just a little more aggressive on?
The one place that I know that we tend to be a little bit more aggressive is diabetes. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk next to that statement. With diabetes, we tend to look very favorably at it, provided it's controlled and the clients are seeing their doctors regularly. As we all know, so much of the underwriting anymore is all based on electronic medical records, right? If clients are going to their doctor and treating their diabetes really well, we tend to underwrite that relatively favorably. Now, that being said, the asterisk is height and weight is always a big deal for diabetes. If we got someone who's, you know, relatively obese and diabetic, we're not going to look at that as favorably. But if you've got a diabetic who's medically controlled, insulin dependent, doesn't matter, we typically do a very, very solid job of underwriting those folks favorably. That would be the one place that I would say we're favorable. Also, our smoker rates tend to be less than what I see in the marketplace. Not significantly less, but our smoker rates tend to be a little bit more favorable than some of the other organizations out there.
Perfect, thank you. I have one more. Is that okay, Bill?
Yep, let's do it.
Excellent. So Julie is asking, she's aware of your children's whole life policy, which I know we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. Is there what is the underwriting leniency on that product? Because she's dealing with cases where the kids are getting declined maybe for things in their early onset asthma, or like how lenient is KCL about issuing that? Is it guaranteed issue, simplified? Like what does that product do?
It's not guaranteed issue. It is more simplified issue. So if the child has basic ailments, they're going to get approved, and every child gets approved at preferred non-tobacco. Now, if they've got significant either birth defects or significant medical issues, then they're going to be a decline at Kansas City Life. So it's on a case-by-case basis. It's quote unquote underwritten, Andrew, but it's either your approved preferred non-tobacco or you're declined based on, certain medical conditions. And what I tell everybody is, in our new world of underwriting, with underwriters having access to so much information, the more you disclose on an application, the more information an underwriter has to make a decision. Especially with these juvenile cases, if everything is disclosed on the gift of life application, then the client can then make a good underwriting decision whether to approve the preferred non-tobacco or decline. If we go find medical records and there's things going on with the child that we didn't know about, then ultimately it's going to pivot to a decline. So I hope that's a long-winded answer to a very basic question.
And if it's clean, those are in and out typically what, in a week or so?
If it's a clean on a clean case on a gift of life, if we get everything that we need electronically, we're issuing cases in no more than 3 days.
Beautiful. 72 hours. That's great.
72
and
hours.
Then what? Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
What would you say? We get this all the time. Child onset diabetes. Do they even have a chance with gift of life, or no?
Usually not.
Okay.
Not. Mainly because what the underwriters tend to see is that there's also a weight issue. And that goes back to the combination of medical issues. Now, if you've got a child who's healthy and unfortunately, onset diabetic, you got a shot. But because they've got the children, everybody under 18 is issued at either preferred non-tobacco or declined, it tends to be a decline because of it. Now, what I would also say is, if you've got those types of circumstances where you've got children who are on the fence medically, what I would say is have them reach out to your sales crew and your new business crew, call the underwriters, and maybe you pivot to our value assured whole life product, and the underwriter can then underwrite them.
Very smart.
You know what I mean? The gift of life is an approved or not approved, right? When you apply for it on children under 18 years old. All of our other products, we're going to underwrite everybody. And our value assured product, you can issue on 15-year-olds as well. And we'll fully underwrite them. And maybe we get them approved.
Yep. And then the cost per dollar of insurance is probably much more competitive on the other products.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yep. That's a great idea. I love it. Okay, good deal. And then, last question. So for your non-medical up to $1 million, you now have an e-app that's on most products. Is that pretty much how it works now?
E-app is on every product. We have gotten rid of our telephone medical interviews, so you can no longer use the tele-app with Kansas City Life. So simplest way to get business issued with Kansas City Life is to use the electronic application. It's one of the simplest electronic applications on the street. Ask the client the medical questions. I know we went away from that in our business, but given electronic medical records, I think that we should be asking clients medical questions and disclosing what we can on the application. Because when the underwriter pairs that with what they see in electronic medical records, they're more likely to make an underwriting decision rather than looking for blood and urine and APSs. We're seeing it with our Essential Guard product. Our Essential Guard product is our new inexpensive term product. Bill, 78% of our applications that qualify for express underwriting, meaning they're under $1 million and 50 years or under, or if they're 51 through 59, it's under 500,000. That percentage is being issued in less than 48 hours, Bill.
Wow.
A fully underwritten product
Unbelievable.
being issued in less than 48 hours. Again, because agents are fully disclosing everything on the application, and it matches with the electronic medical records we're getting.
And you say 48 hours, so that's e-application into the home office, approval, accepted, and then to a mailed policy or electronic policy?
Through
Either
electronic
or?
policy delivery. Correct.
Wow.
Phil, I'll give you an example.
Yep.
When this product first rolled out in February, I bought 500 grand for me. I only bought 500 grand because I'm an old man at 52 and I only qualified for express underwriting up to 500. I clicked send on the electronic application. I obviously had to sign it from myself through my personal email address. Once both I signed it as an individual and I signed it as an agent, I had my policy issued by later that night, Bill.
Wow. They've come a long way. That's great to hear.
And Bill, I take blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. But I
Wow.
disclosed
Yeah,
all on my application, and what I disclosed on my application matched with my medical records.
that's unreal. That's why I wanted you back on today, so the agents can get a little taste of the latest with Kansas City Life. It's fantastic because, you know, the way I always looked at it, and I know we're early, so I could just mention this for a second. You know, Kansas City Life for the longest time, like I mentioned earlier, the customer service, the ratings, you know, the fact that the Bixby family's still involved on a daily basis. And it's everything you want to hear. It's like that great American story, especially for an insurance company. But, you know, the facts are years and years ago, the technology wasn't so great. You know, the underwriting was always great, but it just took a little while. And then you have these other, you know, hotshot companies coming in, they're issuing policies in a couple of days. Agents want to get in and out and paid. And, you know, unfortunately, what we would have to kind of bring up other carriers and then say, hey, we love Kansas City Life, but, you know, I understand. So you fast forward to today and they have the whole package. And, you know, not for every single person and product, but you know what, for the most part, it's a good carrier to keep in your pocket now with great products, underwriting, technology. There's no more gray area or downside. So I love the story. I think it's fantastic. And on top of that, commissions on the brokerage side are great. Renewals are great. I mean, you all, especially being from the brokerage side, you're not used to seeing renewals in packages like this. So it really is a win-win-win. So I'm glad we were able to do this today. The agents get a little taste of the new Kansas City Life. All right.
Absolutely, Bill, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Always, anytime. All right, good stuff. So we will again send out a thank you email. I have a few other things. I have that gift of life door opener strategy that I want to share with the agents, and then we'll do our giveaway. We'll get everyone out before 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so Rob, thanks again. Great work as always. Let's fast forward to my first slide here. And then I have about, I would say 8 to 10 minutes. And then we'll do our Apple, we have Apple AirPods and the IUL prospecting book. And then I think we have a part 2 question as well. So hopefully you went over the contracting playbook from last week's webinar. I gave you a little teaser. Okay, how to get started. So I remember in the beginning I mentioned, and just a couple of minutes ago, it's great because you think of, there's a million agents out there, right? Back to the KCL story. There's a million agents in the field, and most of the agents use the big name companies, as we know. You know, if it's AIG, Corebridge, Transamerica, Protective, Allianz for IUL, we all know the big players. But when you think about trying to have a leg up on your competition, having a new story to tell, right? Because you're going to get the attention of the client, right? Waving the big flag on social media, on your website, if you're running ads, SEO, whatever it is, you need a new story. You need a leg up, quite frankly, right? Against the other 900+ thousand agents in the country. So I love Kansas City Life when it comes to this. And then you break it down even more in the micro. The only agents that are appointed today, think about this, okay, are career agents. So you have the career side, the brokerage side, but it's about 80-20 So 80% on the career side, about 20% on the brokerage side. The brokerage side, that's where we are. That's where you're going to get, it's no secret or surprise, the better compensation, the better renewals, and access to the same products. Okay. There's even some perks built in there. Okay. So it's really, really a great story to tell. And then once you start writing, you get full access to the whole team, including Rob. And they have a seminar sales platform. I mentioned it earlier again for annuities and life. There's so many pluses, and they'll literally do anything. If you're writing business, they'll do anything for you to keep that business going and growing. Okay, so how to get started? It's right in front of you. If you're already appointed, and I know 99% of you are not, right? Like the story we just shared. If you are, we will move you over if you have a release, and we'll match or beat your commissions as always. Plus, you get orphan leads or cash for contracting. Okay, everything's in front of you. Let's keep moving. All right. So I'm going to move through this pretty quickly. So Kansas City Life was actually our second SAGE approved carrier. Okay, Allianz was number one, and then Kansas City Life came in for us as our number one because Allianz was already set up. But anyway, the point is with these products comes the scholarship program, which is on the left-hand side. And what I love about this, I think that just talk about a leg up, a differentiator. You can go out and market those great products with the ROP and the term to 85, all the bells and whistles, and 1 year free tuition at any of our 460 plus colleges in the country. Not a penny to your client. Doesn't cost you, the agent, a penny to offer this. Okay. Do you think you can put a good story together on social media, right, to drive some new leads, new prospects to you? Absolutely. Because no one else has this unless they're a Levinson agent. And I'm going to show you the proof in the pudding in just a second. Let's move to the next slide. So we all spoke about gift of life, the ultimate door opener opportunity. Okay. And I don't care who you are, how successful you are, or if you're living week to week, paycheck to paycheck, commission to commission, doesn't matter. We all need a good door opener. Almost think of like car dealerships. They have a loss leader, right? Oh, you come in, you get the car at $10,099, right? And then you get there, and yeah, you can get it for this, but it doesn't come with a steering wheel, right? We know the games. Well, this isn't a game, okay? But the I shouldn't say the downside, but this will open doors, and the commissions are generally lower, right? Because here we're talking about children and grandchildren. This one happens to be $15 a month. So you're going to make about $150. But the point is, plus renewals, by the way, the point is you open the door. You got a chance to share your story. You just created a new lead, a new contact, a new referral stream. Okay, that's how, and I think everyone knows this, right? It's not rocket science, but this is a fantastic way to open doors. You're talking to grandparents, parents, you maybe seminar that you're hosting. Okay, what grandparent or parent is going to say no, right? That little Jenny, who's 1 year old, right? She's maybe not even 6 months old, infant, okay? 2 months old, doesn't matter. What grandparent or parent's going to say, no, I'm not going to give Jenny the gift of life policy and scholarship program for $15 a month? No one. That's the point. Now you say to yourself, Bill, that sounds wonderful. What do you get for $15 a month? Okay, here's what you get. So here, little Jenny, right? Let's say she's 1 or very close to 1. Okay, now we have a guaranteed whole life product at $30,000 that jumps to $50,000 at age 25. Okay, all for the same $15 a month. Now check this out and ask yourself, do you think you can sell this to a consumer or market this online or through social media? Okay, so again, 20 years, this client paid a total of just under $3,600. Okay, now what did this client get after the 20 years is expired or done? And I don't even want to say expired because the policy can continue. So $3,600, let's round off, okay? 20 years later, look what this client now has, okay? A total of $93,000 used for a tax-free death benefit, God forbid she passed, and or college education scholarship program, okay? How did this all happen? So death benefit, left-hand side, we have cash value and paid up insurance in the third and fourth column, and 43,000 points of scholarship. Each point is $1. Okay. A total of 93,000. Okay. So we turned 3,600 into 93,000 in 20 years. Okay. You can sell this. By the way, guaranteed, not based on current rates. And if, let's say, little Jenny, God forbid, passes away, tax-free death benefit. We can do this on the parents, on the grandparents, on the kids, on the grandchildren, okay, all the way across the board. Tie in the scholarship program, and the premiums paid, okay, multiplies by typically 5 to 10 times. That's the return. Plus, again, the tax-free death benefit along the way. God forbid something happens. It's a slam dunk. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, turnkey seminar sales. I mentioned it with Kansas City Life. So real fast, once you're up and running, we have a form you can fill out. We approve it, and they will do everything for you from A to Z, even fly down the instructor from Kansas City to help you with your seminar or even a webinar or Zoom call. Same exact thing. Okay, so the opportunity is huge, but you got to be active with us in Kansas City. So hopefully you can get some applications in, and then you're off to the races. Okay, my social media posts, I share this every single week, and here's the whole point. Let's keep moving forward. What I like to do here, I go on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and whatever topic that it is that we're sharing that week. Today, it's indexed UL. It's also return a premium term, right? Because we had 2 trainings. But I go in and I say, okay, top performing posts. I want to see what's working great for others, right? So our agents can learn, hey, I can do this. Or, hey, you know what? I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I change a few spokes. We can actually edit and add your logo, your name, phone number for you if you want, but it's very, very simple. Now, here's my favorite. Check out the middle post here. If you decline life insurance now, life insurance may decline you when it matters most. Boy, is that an eye-opener. That post alone created over 500 likes, shares, and comments. What does it mean to you? That's 500 new leads, new clients, new prospects. What did you pay for that? Free, not a penny. Okay, you should be reaching out to every person through DM, direct message, or PM, okay, personal message, depending on the platform you're on. But you can do this. It's not rocket science, okay? The one on the right and left, okay, do you know the difference between term, whole life? Of course you do. Let's go to the right side. Don't wait until it's too late to protect loved ones. Embrace the urgency of insurance. Click here for more. Come on. Just that post alone created over 150 likes and shares. And even if you say, Bill, I have 7 followers, you know, what? So big deal, 1 likes my post? Sure, it's a big deal because that one person that liked your post, you reach out, they say, Billy, I want a quote. You say, great, here it is. They say, great, let's fill out an app. You just sold a new policy for 1 post, right? That could have been 3,000, 5,000 of commissions. Who knows? And then maybe they send you a referral. So you've got to start thinking big. And even if it's small at first, it will be big eventually. Okay, it takes time, but you got to do it every week, every single week. Let's keep moving, Andrew. All right, next slide here is the podcast. This was an awesome story. It's an hour long. Obviously, it's free. Kent is on number 61. I mean, you talk about a story. So this guy started with us, almost 20 years ago. Always did well. You know, didn't knock it out of the park, but did well. I don't want to ruin the story, but you got to check it out for yourself. We'll fast forward. He creates this relationship at the bank. He joins forces. They now have a life division. In 2025, he became one of our top 10 agents in the entire country out of 24,000 agents. It's unbelievable. He is crushing it. Just submitted over 500 grand of IUL premium about 10 days ago. Okay. I mean, crushing it. So check out the story. And then for October, that was September. For October, I have a similar story, might be even bigger and better. We don't know yet, but I know the agent, and he's crushing it on the annuity side. So we're going to dive in deep with Ron, and I promise you're going to love his story as well. 61 and 62. These are going to be, put it this way, I think the feedback, whatever review you leave, you're going to let me know. you're going to say, Bill, I'm going to give this one a 10 all the way through. So I'm proud of it. I think you'll love it too. Let's keep moving. All right. We had our breakfast training today. Same thing we are doing with Manhattan Life with supplemental products on the 7th of November. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're registered, okay? Because again, we fill up in these rooms too, not just the expo. So you got to register. Typically, they hold about 50 to 100 agents. If you're in Florida, it's worth taking the drive to South Florida. Make it happen. Free breakfast, networking event, and Manhattan Life. It's going to be a big one. Okay, next is our menu of training events, which is what you're on right now. Some of the big ones. We have our vendor, our lead vendor, third-party company coming in on the 9th. Just under that, Columbus Life has a new VP that's I've known for many, many years. He's also a friend. He's got some great stuff to share, some new product info and new value add for the agents. I think you'll love the story. And then Lincoln is real big on the FIA space and MIGA strategy that they're going to share, especially with October being CD replacement month. Right-hand side, and Show Me Now Direct, Baltimore Life on the annuity side as well. August Star is back. SILAC annuities are big this year as well on the FIA side. Let's move to our final slide here. Probably sick of hearing me for the last hour, actually 2 hours because of this morning. Let's end with our Positive Tuesday quote and then my question of the day. And it's right before 3 p.m. Eastern, so I did a good job. I was actually on time, which is nice to see. Okay, my quote, never lower your standards, adjust your sight, and increase your effort, right? Never, ever settle. That's the point here. So if it doesn't work, okay, try it again. Hey, Bill, I tried this new strategy you mentioned on the webinar. Didn't work well. Great. Try something else. Guess what? This is Positive Tuesday, okay? That's the quote, every Positive Tuesday. Come up with your own little, call it Positive IUL Wednesday, okay? Use a Long-Term Care Friday. Return a Premium Monday. And every single week, you should come out with a new quote or a new, call it maybe a product details, right? Depending on whatever day it is or week it is. But the point is, more important than any of this, you got to be persistent and you got to be consistent with your messaging, right? That's how we grew. In a nutshell, over the last 25 plus years, it's because we were persistent. We never missed a webinar, never missed a podcast episode, never missed a Positive Tuesday quote for the last 8 years since we started this. Not one. Okay? I know you could do the same thing. Let's wrap up with our question of the day. So as you know, last week we started the new training handbook playbook. Okay? So just think about this for a second. 3 departments, marketing, contracting, new business. We have a playbook and we make everything very simple. So you understand how to do business with Levinson, with each department, breaks it down so you can understand in a very easy way or have your assistant maybe share and go over the playbook together. But we're going to ask questions based around the playbooks, okay, on top of the webinar questions. So it'll be 2 different questions each week, okay? For this one, what we're going to ask, get your little fingers on the keyboard. I spoke about the Kansas City Life strategy, the door opener, the ultimate door opener with the scholarship program. Tell me the name of the product and you win. The Kansas City Life door opener strategy. There was a product that we used. If you tell us the name, you win Apple AirPods prospecting book on us. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Yes, it's Mike P. Mike P.
Mike P. The answer was Gift of Life. That was an easy one. Okay, but I'm going to tell everyone now, you have to review the contracting playbook because we're going to ask another question that's in the playbook. It's only about 4 to 5 minutes, I believe, so you should get through it quickly. But for next week, the question is going to be based around that. We'll include it in the thank you email as well. Thanks again, everyone. We had a full day of trainings here at Levinson. I hope most important you walked away with an idea, a nugget, a strategy, right? And it helps you make more sales, help more families, help your own family. Let's have a great day, great rest of the week, great selling, and thank you again, everyone.